Hello and welcome to my implementation of a Unity input settings menu into a sample scene using Unity's new input system. I've got a scene that I'm going to play. This scene was created by the Unity team to showcase their input system, and I've expanded upon it to include additional functionality. So at the moment we have a controller that controls this Viking, got some music, we can attack with E, I'm currently moving around with WASD, and you can control the camera using the mouse pad or just the mouse. And if you press P, it brings up the pause menu. And if we go into settings, we can see all of the settings that have been exported into the settings manager. Okay, so I'm going to bring us out again. All of those settings have been defined in the UI accessibility prefab. This prefab is designed in such a way that it can ideally be imported into any game using the new input system, and it will be able to introduce this functionality to a game very easily. You can define your own variables in the menu here. So here I've got a music slider and a sound slider. I also have invert X for the mouse and invert Y on the toggle. You can very easily add or take away just by putting them into here and typing in whatever thing you need for your project. It also takes the button presses from your action map, so these are these actions, and it will create a rebindable asset which lets you redefine the input. What that means is you can have any control layout in this menu, and the asset will generate the menu based on what is in this inspector. So to add a new button, I could just simply go to plus, add a new action, give it a name, give it a binding. I've created two here. I'm just going to showcase. So at the moment we've got our controller. Go into our settings and let's have a look at a little bit more depth. So first of all, music we can turn up and we can turn down. I'm just going to turn that off because easier to think. We've got a slider for volume, for this is for our attack sound effect, so we can control both separately. And you can define these sliders to be whatever you want, as I said earlier. These toggles I've set up so that they control the camera movements, so you can flip these, and when you use your camera, the controls are inverted. This is especially good if you want to add extra functionality to your control settings. And then, so we want to redefine a button press. You just press the button, it says listening for input, and you press the button that you want it to be. So let's say I want it to be C. It's now, I've pressed C on the keypad, and when I go back to the game, the old E button doesn't do anything, and the C button is now my attack button. And if I close the game, alright, we go back into the game and you'll notice that the sound settings have saved from last time, and that is because every time you close the game, the settings will save and will be restored when you press play again. And the reason this is possible is because I have designed the system in such a way that it's very easy to serialize the settings. So if you see this copy settings to clipboard, I'm going to press that and go to, let's open a new WordPad. Okay, so what this is done, when I press copy settings to clipboard, it's gone through all of my settings that I've set up in the inspector, and it's serialized them into a bunch of values into this string, basically. And this string, if I change a bunch of settings again, so let's say the music is on, and the camera is back how it was, and then I have this string in my clipboard, it should just work. I see, if I copy and copy. Okay, so if I have this string in my clipboard while there is a different type of setting in the game, it'll give me the option to paste the settings that I have in my clipboard into the game. So I'm just going to do that, and suddenly the music is off again. It's like, hey, these are my settings for game XXX. So it makes it incredibly easy to share the settings that work for you with other people, and this adds an extra layer of functionality to your game. Let's discard that. So yeah, that is my implementation of a settings menu into Unity using the new input manager. Thank you very much for watching.